Good evening, good afternoon, and good morning, whichever order this video finds you in. I'm Jason, I'm your host. We are back with another episode 156. We are chatting all things football, all things fun, all things good, bad, and the ugly that has happened and that will happen. It sounds like a all prophesying intro that I'm giving there, but
Why are you looking at me
time
when you
will
use the
tell.
word ugly? Why are you looking at me when you use the word
I
ugly?
didn't look at you, sir.
How do you know
You
that
feel
you are placed on his screen?
You
exactly,
know, I'm the
exactly.
only one in
Somebody
this frame who
feels
he can call ugly. I'm the only one in this frame.
no. I'm talking about all things football. Okay, I'm not looking at anybody in particular.
What did I say to
But
you?
yeah, we
He
are
meant your
back.
log position is ugly.
Thank you. Thank you.
If this is a
Thank you.
sign to come of what this episode's gonna hold, then you guys are in for a feisty one. I'm not alone. I've got almost all of the Parkers. Mubin Ahmad Diallo is with us. How's it going, brother? It's been a while.
Yeah. I'm good after Monday's win. Gave me some life hence my appearance on the episode.
100%. I have said that you're here because SA beat India. Is that true?
That also.
Okay.
So I'm
Okay.
full of spunk right now.
Okay. No, fair play. What a great sporting weekend for you. We've got two out of the three Parkers here. AF, talk to me, sir. How's it going?
I'm just happy that I don't have to put on my ceiling lights today for the episode, saving some
That's,
electricity. You know,
there we
Ramadan is
go,
all
sir.
about giving, but this is about saving also.
Lovely, 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 lovely. And talking about giving, the guy who supports a team that's exceptionally giving, Riaz Parker, welcome. How are you, sir?
Well, to be honest, we're also the team that needs saving. So the saving and the giving, you can give out my way. Um, I've been better. This is probably one of the worst I've been. So cash in while it lasts.
Oh, this guy
Well,
looks
look,
exhausted.
if
Oh,
you are feeling bad, you are in the holy month, so you can definitely. There's other blessings that will be bestowed upon you.
I'm
Whether your team is in that, that says something different. But yeah, we are not going to have too long of an episode. Thanks for everybody, both on YouTube and Facebook. We are live on Facebook as well. So if your auntie's looking for something to do, let her know that we are on live on Facebook and she can leave Marketplace looking for the Tupperwares and actually come watch the show. To everybody that's new here, thanks for being here. Please like, share, subscribe, and follow us on all of the social media platforms. We are doing this every week, and for the next few weeks, we'll be at 6 p.m. So before things get a bit too serious, I had to just do all of those little specific things. Welcome to everybody in the chat, and by everyone, I mean the one and only, the champ who can't defend his title. As far, good to have you here. But yeah, not so much a jam-packed episode. More so, we're gonna see Riaz cry. So if you're interested in that, please stay. But yeah, we're just gonna chat a bit of the weekend. We had a few games that brought about a few interesting results. We'll preview probably the game of the weekend, Arsenal against Chelsea, and what that sort of implications would have for both the top four race as well as the title race. And then hopefully we still have some time and we'll chat just a little bit about Player of the Year and PFA Player of the Year specifically and who our shouts would be. We've got about 10 games left, so I think it's probably the best time to chat about it. So yeah, Mubin, I'm going to jump to you first, and we're not going to talk about United as much as I can see you want to, and you're going to talk about Benjamin Sesko. We'll start with AF's team. I mean, not AF's team, sorry. We'll start with Man City. So nobody's team, maybe Riaz's.
AFC team, yeah.
Um, did
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
perhaps catch the game? It was a 10 p.m. kickoff, which might have interfered with, mosque time, but City winning 2-1. Nico O'Reilly, the unlikely goal scorer.
Yeah, I didn't manage to catch it unfortunately, but I obviously watched the highlights package on it. Um, and yeah, I mean, City's the money worth. I mean, I I said I think I was on the first episode just before the season started, and I said Arsenal's not going to win the league, and I said it again few games in, and I'm gonna say it again that Man City will pop you guys to the title.
Yeah.
Because I don't know, Pep just has he's gonna pull something out of that. And I think Arteta and Arsenal just don't have the temperament. And I'm sort of digressing here from
No,
the Man
that's
City
fine. That's
result,
fine. I'll
but
forgive you
but
just because Sesko scored. But keep going.
but that is our titles are won. I will always say in United's dominant era, they scrapped wins coming down from 1-1 to get it to 1, or coming down from a 1-0. Sorry, from a 0-0 to scrap a 1-0. And that's something Arsenal, they have been winning, but in games where they need to get 3 points, you know, there was a couple of games where they haven't managed to scrap a win, and that is our titles are won. So yeah.
No, that's fair. AF, did you manage to catch any of the game or catch any of the highlights? Anything that stood
No,
out
no,
for
no.
you?
Yeah, watch the game. I think in the preview that we did last week, I called this that they're gonna be it's gonna be a tough one. I said that they will concede because I said like City's defense, they have been conceding goals. And
Yeah.
I think I did predict a win. I think it might have been 2-1 that I predicted. And I said it's gonna be tough. And Newcastle gave them a hell of a run out there. Nico O'Reilly's turning out to be something extraordinary for Pep Guardiola. I mean, he's this versatile player that Pep is just putting all over the pitch. I think he played as a second striker or just behind Ireland at one point on Saturday,
Yeah.
which is crazy. The kid has it all in his toolbox, and I mean, it's no coincidence that he was the man of the match. He was the one doing
Yeah.
probably the most on that pitch. But yeah, credit to Newcastle and to Eddie Howe. They made it. They made City work for it, and yeah, it was a good, entertaining game at the end of it all.
Yeah, for sure. I think similar to the Carabao Cups, both first leg and second leg, we saw Newcastle run City close, but that the quality sort of prevailed. Did you catch the game? Did you see the same thing? I think maybe the scoreline flattened City a bit. There was some chances on the break Newcastle had, just a lack of a clear finisher.
Yeah, it was a good game though. At the very least, like I have said, that's credit to Newcastle, because if you look at the bench of City, and we'll come on to Arsenal's bench later, but if you look at the bench of City, I mean, it's all starters. It's basically like a second starting team. So the golfing quality between the two teams, especially if you look at the bench, is quite big. So for them to stop putting on such a good kind of effort against City, who, as Mupin says, are maybe champions come the end of the season. I think it's really well done, even though they've now lost 4 out of the last 5. I think it is Newcastle. It's so weird, and then they also managed to kind of walk through the. Let me stop it. I'm trying to keep my train of thought. And they managed to walk through the Champions League and do really, really well there. So it's really weird, Newcastle. Newcastle are a weird team, but yeah, they play really well. I'm just happy that City got the 3 points at the end of the day.
Yeah, okay, so all of you guys really just hate me, and that's fine. Yeah, I think that I mean you saying that you're happy City got the 3 points at the end. Mubin says
Yeah.
no, City is gonna win because that's what champions do. And AF
Yeah, I said that, but it's not that I want them to win. I'd prefer
That's
Arsenal
it.
over City. I'm just
I just
I'm just
wanted to get
saying.
that on tape. I just wanted to have a clippable moment. Thanks. Production team will sort that one out. Yeah, no, AF, I think you sitting on the fence like yeah, so I don't like that.
I mean, you can't please everybody.
No, 100%, 100%. Okay, so yeah,
You,
I felt that the game was very similar to that Carabao Cup first leg and second leg, very open. And
yeah.
what kind of fills me with a bit of confidence is the fact that City are conceding a lots of chances. They just are not getting punished for it. The front line, it looks nice to have Nico O'Reilly score, and I think maybe it is a bit of a load off Haaland's back, that the pressure's not on him to always score. If it's not him, then it is then it's nobody. But yeah, they do have an exceptional amount of quality, and this is generally when they kick in. So I'd be lying if I say I'm not nervous, but I'm not as nervous. I think there's an element of complacency in the team, which kind of strikes me with a bit of confidence, knowing that they're not as dominant as they previously were. I think teams have come and shown that they can have a go at City, so that's
That's good.
something that I will cling on and hold on and keep writing into my diary. Um, yeah, we've got a bit of comments here from SPO. I want to bring the first one. He said, I think these are predictions. So we'll store this. I think there's Arsenal playing Chelsea twice this weekend, or maybe it's between those two. Those are his two suggestions. He also left another comment. He's saying that if Man City wins all the rest of the Premier League games, Man City will be champions. It's your fault, Arsenal, for bottling again. I mean, everybody's entitled to their own opinion, right? If they win every game, you're saying that Arsenal will also not win any of the games, or what are we saying there? Are you saying Arsenal's going to drop so many points that
What do you
City
mean
have
so
to win
many? It's
every?
only 2 games. It's only and one of them is against City. So technically, it's only one other game. If City win all the games, then Arsenal only have to drop points in one other game, and then it's sorted.
Okay, so it's just one other game then. Okay, that's fair, but it also relies on City to have to win everything.
Yeah, that's
I
what
know
he's
they still
saying.
have a mission. Yeah, yeah. No, they've still got a mission to Chelsea.
Yeah,
Um,
it's difficult
and
games. Difficult games.
yeah, I don't think you quite understand how Arteta can get. If he gets to the Etihad and he plays 11 at the back, my
Which is
friend,
what he
it's
will
on
do
City.
against City. Yeah, he will do
Yeah,
that against City.
and I think in this instance he's right and justified to do that. So I couldn't be bothered.
You thought last time
Um,
also that was right, and you guys lost the league at the end of it. So
yeah, but I don't think it was that game, right?
it was
Everybody
one
put
of
so
the
much
games.
emphasis.
It's
Yeah,
one.
but everybody puts so
It's
much
win.
emphasis on one versus two, and it's not that. The game's not going to come down to that game, although maybe it sets up that way. But yeah, let's pause that for now. We'll obviously come back to Arsenal again. I'm going to leave the Chelsea Burnley game because that was also some interesting things happening there, and the Arsenal Spurs, just because they'll form part of the preview. But AF, talk to me about Benjamin Sesko off the bench, the super sub to save United's blushes or do
I,
what he's
you,
supposed to do.
I just love it because I know that like Riaz is seething every time he scores. So every time he scores a goal, I'm like thinking in my head, this is amazing. Riaz is probably like sweating somewhere right now. And that
I
just
was.
makes
I
it so
was.
much sweeter. But yeah, no, it was a tough one. It was so frustrating also at one point because we couldn't really string some passes together because we were being suffocated by the Everton press. And I mean, that was a really good game plan for them. But I don't know how you guys feel about this. Okay, bar Jason because he's an Arsenal supporter. But this whole thing, and it's not only against United, it's literally against every single team in the Premier League. Teams are just doing this thing where they are crowding goalkeepers, whether it's a Aston Villa versus Burnley game, whether it's Chelsea versus Fulham. Like that's just become the new corner routine, and
Yeah.
I I don't like it. Like I think it's like
Well done. Well
anti-football. You
done.
you basically just trying to steal a goal essentially, and the referees are doing nothing about it. PGMOL are doing nothing about it. The goalkeepers have like their backs are against the wall and sometimes against the pole. Um, at one point on Monday night, I think they pushed Lenny Yaro through Senna Lamens, and then Yaro got a yellow card for it. It's like comical, man. Like the refereeing is so terrible. But yeah, they need to do something about it because there's no way. I mean, we're just grateful that we have somebody like Senior Lamans now in the goal. Like if that was Altai or Andre Onana early on in the season, we are 100% losing that game, probably 3 or 4 goals, like to 1 or some crap like that. But yeah, they made us work for it. It was a really, really good goal off the bench from Benjamin Sesko.
Anybody
He
could have finished that. Come on. I mean, I
demonstrated
could have
his
finished
pace.
that if it was on a plate.
Mbomo did well to spot him. Cunha's pass was phenomenal.
That was a
Like
great pass.
to
Good pass,
pick
it was.
Mbomo out. But yeah, like just Cisco making up all that. I think it was they measured it to like 51 yards and he did it like in a few seconds. So that's
Oh, please.
like showing his
Sorry,
pace off.
Mbomo, everybody
And
else.
just coming off the bench and just taking it first time also. Amazing. Great stuff. And Riaz was crying, so that makes it even better.
Anybody could have finished that. Even Solanke. He would have been
I've seen Haaland miss point blank, so not everyone could have just finished that.
Look here,
You
wake up from
can't
your
you can't
dream.
take your frustrations out on an
Please.
individual just because a club sold a player you like. I don't think that's fair.
I think it's completely fair because I don't
No,
support
it's
the club.
not.
I
What,
think it's
what,
completely
what?
fair.
He didn't do anything to you. You should be angry at the ownership of United. You can't be angry at Cisco.
I
He's got nothing
can.
to do with the fact that they sold Wayland.
I can, and I will, and then next season I will be fine again. I'll probably like him. We'll see how it
That's
goes.
like hating on
No,
Michael
yeah,
Carrick because he replaced Ruben Amorim.
exactly.
Oh, that's a good idea. That's a good idea.
You won't hate on
Riaz's
Michael Carrick. You like
agendas are
Michael
just going to
Carrick.
keep
You
growing.
can't do that.
And if you hate Michael Carrick, then there's clearly something not adding up because he's an ex-Spurs player as well.
Yeah, well,
Let's not forget that.
that is true.
He was
I
upset
think-
that he left Spurs for United. This is a
Nah.
deep-seated hate.
I mean,
This is a-
people leave
You have to
jobs
upgrade.
for greener pastures all the time. I mean,
You have to upgrade. Yes, that is right.
you can't blame the Oak. I mean, he's
Nah,
won
that's
trophies.
That is true.
That's fair. Riaz, just quickly on that goal, we've said that in recent times United turn up sort of for the bigger games they play on the counter attack, and for the games against the lesser known opposition they kind of have to establish themselves. The goal they scored was a very quick break. Is that just the game plan that they need to stick to? Just kind of suck up a bit of the pressure and then launch because they've got tremendous speed on the counter attack.
Yeah, 100%. I think that's a great point. And like AF said, because they were being suffocated, they kind of had that space to go in and run in behind, which is completely up the alley. It's the exact game plan that they've been wanting to play since before Erik ten Hag. So, and they're comfortable with it. So, yeah, I think if push comes to shove, instead of having the ball and playing around with the ball, playing out too much position, allow the teams to press you. You have good enough passes to kind of make a break and runners as well. I mean, you have Ahmad, you have Cunha, you have Mbomo, who can all break lines. They're very quick. And you have the passes to kind of get them the ball. Even Casemiro has been playing really good passes as well. So you have the players to kind of do that. So, I mean, if it's the best way to go about it, if kind of breaking down teams isn't your forte, then playing on the counter is still a way to play.
Yeah.
It still works out,
Yeah.
and they got to win because of it. So yeah, well done.
Yeah. Well, being just lastly, while we talk about United, we can maybe briefly touch on Liverpool after this. But Carrick obviously doesn't have many games, right? So he's got this set of fixtures that are laid out, and there's not going to be any change to it. There's a comment from Yasin saying that Carrick needs to rotate and pick players that suit opposition. Do you think that he should do that, or do you think he just sticks with this 11 because it works and it seems to be gelling, and you just kind of go with the momentum and the flow of the team as it stands?
Yeah, in terms of there's not much to rotate. If you look at the squad and the bench, there's 2 or 3 senior guys, and the rest are all academy players. So, and like you said, the fixtures are put out. We aren't in any cups. what do we have left? 13 games, 12 games. So I think he should obviously put out the best squad possible. If you're rotating one or two from the top three, that's fine. Keep the legs fresh. But I mean, it's 12 games that I don't see the need to. Like I said, we aren't in any cups. So the guys, the legs should still be fresh compared to most of the, let's say, top five, top six, whoever's sort of pushing or gunning to end in the top four. But they're still in the competition. Man City is still up there. Arsenal are still playing cup football. If I'm not mistaken, all of them are still in the FA Cup. So our guys should be much fresher than the rest of the bigger teams. So yeah, I don't see the need to rotate right now. Like I said, we are a bit thin on the squad. So
What happened to Martinez? Is he injured?
It was a minor injury. Yeah,
yeah.
they were just like sort of doing it as precaution, giving
Okay.
a couple of days to like rest it.
How many more days does he need? He gets the week off already.
Midweek games, bro. Midweek games.
Oh,
We have
sorry.
Not used to playing midweek, man, Jason.
Next week, Wednesday.
Sorry.
Midweek
much
games,
playing-
bro. You
playing
guys aren't the only ones that
midweek
play
games,
midweek.
No, okay, sorry, no, sorry. Okay, yeah.
I just want to partially disagree with Mubin because I think Carrick. I said this on last week's episode. When we're up against a low block, he needs to be changing things around because every team who is playing a low block, they're setting up the exact same way because they know that we have a fluid front three. So they're doing whatever they need to sort of mitigate all of those, like running in behind and making sure that they try to be on the shoulder of the last defender. In sort of circumstances like that, start Cisco, play balls into the box, play a bit more direct because he is tall enough. Chances are he's probably going to win a couple of headers, and then the opposition, they're going to need to change the entire game plan. West Ham was like Exhibit A in terms of they were just basically parking the bus over there. They knew that we had three really fast front players, and we were going to try to get past them that way. And the game plan basically mitigated that. If we had played Cisco earlier, I think we might have been able to nick the win against West Ham. He came on, he did something, they put a cross into the box, he scored. And like play a bit more direct. I'm not saying that Cisco must start every game, but against teams that we know is probably going to park it at the back, just try a bit of a different approach.
No, that's fair. I mean, look, that's why Michael Carrick's got all the time, or that's why he's blessed with having all the time now. You can figure out multiple ways to break down multiple systems, and you have the best run in to potentially secure Champions League, European football, get United back to that competition. Also, it means that if you finish higher, you don't play the early rounds of FA Cup that Spurs might have to play next season, and then you might not come into a team like Grimsby Town. So you kind of skip that, which is always a good thing, isn't it? Because if you think I'll ever go episode without shading you and your team, then you are wrong. But yeah,
especially if they get relegated.
What do you mean? We will get relegated. It's happening.
If they get relegated,
I think what days
they
championship
play
games
FA
are.
Cup first round during the World Cup, and that's going to be an interesting one. Because that sort of qualifying round will be crazy.
Yeah, but we're not going to have any players. We're going to have to get players in from the youth team, under 20s, under 16s even.
Oh yeah, no, true. Yasin left a comment asking what Spurs players would be good to get. So yeah, that's definitely one to keep an eye out. Yeah, maybe we can get
I don't think you want any of them. Gonna go back
but
to
yeah,
Juventus.
let's segue onto the Arsenal Spurs. But just so that we can appease Asfar, congrats on the win. Liverpool leaving it very late, almost had their bread taken twice, which would have been very funny, especially with the way that they celebrated. So that was a very late win, and I think they thought they were going to secure top 4 at the end of the weekend. Obviously, United winning, overtaking them again. We had Villa drop points, which makes the race for the top 4 very exciting. There's not a lot of points between Villa and United. I think it's 3, and then the difference between Chelsea, Liverpool, and United is also 3, and then everybody else is very close by. So, as much as everybody sort of hones in on the Arsenal City run in, the top 4 and the battle for maybe top 5 even, because I think that definitely guarantees Champions League, is going to heat up as well with all the fixtures that are going to happen. And I think a team like United profits from the fact that the teams in and around them are still playing cup competitions. So there's that. We'll now move on to Riaz's favorite topic. And no, it is not United and not Chelsea and not any of the other teams that you think he supports. It's a team that he really supports, and that's Arsenal. Riaz, did you catch the game? What are your thoughts on that performance? I think a lot was made in the game, and Spurs having kind of taken 2 points off City, maybe they felt a bit up for it. What did you think of that first half, and then particularly the second half?
Yeah, I mean, it took 2 points of City this time, and then in the beginning of the season also took another 3 points off them. So I think, it's we go hand in hand. I mean, I think we had a great game. I think we played really well. Just a one mistake from Declan Rice, and which is okay. Declan's a mistake, and then we played Spurs off the park, really. So I think it was a good game for us. I think we played really well.
Point of view is crazy.
You're the one who said I support Arsenal, so I'm just going off that. But yeah, it was horrific, honestly. I thought that we'd be a little bit better, but it's actually time to now see what the players are made of. Because at the end of the day, like I said last week, I said that even with all the injuries, the team shouldn't be this bad. I mean, the players are still of decent quality. They just need to show it. And with a new guy coming in, if he can't, like he was shouting at the players from the sidelines to do stuff, and they weren't even listening to him. So what are you supposed to do then as a manager of this football club? I mean,
what do you expect to happen though? What do you expect to happen? You bringing in a manager that's going to change an entire system with 10 games left in the season, and you're trying to avoid.
He didn't change anything. He didn't change anything.
Mean?
That's how Thomas Frank played in the last 2 games. Thomas Frank played 3 at the back in the last 2 games.
I don't buy that. Like his entire
system, the exact same back 5 play
different.
was the same. It was the same. The only thing that's different is he wants us to press higher, whereas Thomas Frank played the 5 at the back without any pressing whatsoever. He just sat low block 5 at the back, whereas this guy at least tried to press from the front, which didn't work. We got completely outplayed. Honestly, Yasin, I actually think that he won't get fired. I think he'll get fed up and leave on his own accord. I think he'll actually get fed up and leave on his own accord. I don't think he'll get fired.
That seems more on brand for him, yeah.
Because, I mean, he really seems in disbelief. Honestly, he seems in disbelief. And it's sad because, I mean, he looks like he can do something. Like, if people actually listen to him, he can actually do something.
But the thing is, like, I mean, I was taking note of like a couple of players on the pitch, right? Like Van der Ven looked lost at sea for majority of the game, and he looked uncomfortable. He looked uncomfortable, and there's definitely some sort of change of system and he wasn't like fitting into something within that system. Like he just looked lost. He something that he wasn't agreeing with, and that's probably for a couple of players on the park. Like there's a whole mentality change that had to have happened when this manager came in with his philosophy. Yes, the system might have been the same, like in terms of the formation, but like you said, it's a higher press. It's more. It's basically he's trying to play high octane football with players that can't play high octane football. So he has to sort of the players, and they have to meet each other halfway. But that's not going to happen. Not with 10 games, 10 games left in the season. I think that the Spurs hierarchy made a terrible mistake appointing him instead of appointing somebody that everybody's still familiar with, just to get through the end of the season, just to make sure that they escape relegation. doing something like this is extremely risky, and I think it's scary hours for you guys.
It is. I agree. I agree with most of the things that you said. I just think that they went left field for sure. I think Harry Redknapp would have been a better option. But I don't know. Like, it's difficult to say because who do you pick? Like, this guy is the savior of relegation, or the savior of teams, or whatever the case may be. But at the end of the day, when the players don't want to be saved, and on the Van der Ven thing, it's really difficult to play the same type of football when you're next to Romero as opposed to when you're next to Radu Dragusin. I just want to say that. That's like the one thing that I have to say.
That's
because
fair. Okay, no, finish.
No, you go.
No, it's just like you don't have a pure centre back player to play three. Like, I mean, if Romero was still available, then playing Romero, Dragusin, and Van der Ven would be logical. But to take Palhinha out of like central midfield and then just stop gapping him into the right side of defense, I didn't agree with that. And I mean, he also just looked very uncomfortable for the most part of the match.
Once again, that wasn't the Tudor thing. That's a Frank thing. Frank did that because he ran out of Danso and Romero and all of those guys. So Frank started this Palhinha at centre-back situation. And Tudor just came in and tried to fit him in because he's been playing there, I guess, because of Frank. I think he decided to, because he did take him off at the end of the day. At the end of the game, he took off Palhinha and he put Archie Gray as a right centre-back. It was just, oh wow,
tiny guy.
Okay, look. To be fair, his scrapping was probably I'm not gonna say the worst assembled squad, but one of the poorer squads that have been assembled in the season, and have been very unfortunate with injuries. I do have to echo a bit of concern. It's 11 games, and I don't think you have a particularly difficult run, but there are some games that you could actually drop points and West Ham have a chance to do something very crazy here.
West Ham have a very difficult fixture list, though. They have a very difficult fixture list.
Yeah, no, 100%. But I think if you in Nuno, you have somebody who's maybe a bit better at surviving the sort of scary times, and they have more of a system that can be applied to more of the games. Nottingham Forest as well could be. I mean, Vitor Pereira got a good few wins, narrowly lost out to Liverpool. So, yeah, I think there's definitely some.
That game against Nottingham Forest in a couple of weeks' time will be, I think.
Will be the.
I think whoever wins that game will eventually stay up. It's going to be and because I think West Ham, obviously, like you said, Nuno is more scrappy. Like he's able to do it by himself. Like the system is better against more teams. Whereas I think Forest, even though Forest have a better squad than we do, which is a weird thing to say, they have a better squad than we do. I think if we're able to beat them in a couple of weeks, that will make the difference. And that's the last thing about that Arsenal game, in which Eze pitches up. It's going to be a yearly thing, isn't it? Where Eze pitches up just for North London derby and he scores like 6 goals at the time. But as far asked earlier about the Gabriel thing, as far I'm with you, but
I'm also with you.
Unfortunately, what can you do? What can you do?
That was such a soft foul, man. Come on.
What can you do? Here we go. Abe, what are you saying? Are you saying it's a foul?
No, I said it was so soft.
Oh, yeah. I'm with you, but...
And then on another day, Gabriel does the exact same thing to another player.
And it's a foul.
Then that would be given a foul.
Yeah. It's a weird double standard situation, and it would have changed the game. But at the end of the day, I'm happy it didn't because we weren't good enough. We still sucked. We didn't deserve anything out of the game. So either way, it went in and didn't go in. Like it doesn't matter really. But I just want to say, like the double standards in terms of the refereeing is ridiculous. And don't say, Jason, at the end of the season, if you guys don't win, it's because of refereeing decisions. Because you got one.
Yeah, I mean, look, we still need to be getting quite a few more, but just
no, you don't.
Yeah, bruh, let's not. Luckily, this is a short episode. Otherwise, I'd have pulled out all the receipts. I'm hearing everything that everybody's saying. It is soft. but then we have to review what are two hands on the back. So yes, he maybe is a bit more theatrical. Yeah, but
But more
if he,
theatrical.
yeah, because if he's not, then two hands in the back is seen as fine. So it's weird.
Two hands in the back
I
is
do
fine.
agree.
It's the
Well,
force put into it
reality
that's
is
the
that
problem. There was no force put
I
into
think
it.
he's
He had two hands
falling
on his back.
into it. I think he's coming back to try and make a jump, and before he jumps, so if it's in the air, right? I think Ekitike scored a goal a few weeks back where he was in the air and he was on Romero, right? Now, why I think that was allowed was because Romero and Ekitike were both in the air, right?
Okay.
This is my understanding, and I'm open to interpretation here. If
Yeah.
Gabriel's not jumping for the ball yet, and
Yes.
somebody pushes him, surely
Yes.
he can't jump, so that is an obstruction. So whether it is
Agree.
so that is my opinion. So when
I agree.
Jolinton jumped into his back and basically held him down from jumping, that was allowed. Then this
Yes.
is given. So
Yeah.
yeah.
So
So
I
even
agree with you that pushing is a problem, especially that when it doesn't when it's not up in the air yet, for sure, like it inhibits him. But when there isn't a push, when the player walks, when the defender initiates contact into someone else's hands and they don't push, and the defender ends up falling to the floor theatrically, I don't think that should be allowed. I don't think
okay.
that should
So
be given.
okay. So that's what you felt happened this weekend. That
There's
Gabriel
three of us who
initiated
felt that
contact.
way. There's three of us who felt
Yeah.
that way.
But I
In
mean,
the
look,
score.
if we had the feature now to pull it up, we'd be able to see that he's not there's a clear gap between them, right?
Yeah.
So you saying that he's going back so that he can push him. Like
No. I'm not saying he
Kulumawani,
wants to push him or anything. I'm not saying that he wants to do anything.
So you saying, I mean, this is my interpretation, and again, this is clearly what we are doing, right?
We are
It's up
debating.
for,
Yeah.
for debate, right? You saying Gabriel goes back in the hopes that Kulumawani is going to push him so that he can win the foul.
No, I'm not saying that either. I'm saying that when he feels anything, he's flying like a fish, and that's the problem. That's
No,
basically
fair.
what
I
I'm
mean,
saying. I'm not saying he's
that's
going
not
there
how I
to
saw
get
it.
the foul.
The thing is, he's done it already, like this season, like a couple of times. Like the moment he feels like the slightest touch on something, the guy will like be theatrical and he'll fall down and stuff like that. A lot of the times he gets he gets called out for it and stuff like that. This time he got away with it. So I mean, Arsenal, like you guys got a reprieve over there. The goal wasn't allowed and all of those things. But it's not the first time that Gabriel has been doing this.
Also, this comes
Yeah.
full circle to your corner situation where we've seen how many pushes do we see on the keeper every game? That is 10 times worse than that, and it isn't given.
Yeah.
And then there's not even a push, and the defender falls down and it's given. So it's horses for courses, I guess. It wouldn't have made a difference to the game. It's more about the refereeing issues that we have.
Yeah, no, look, it could have definitely had influence. What was the score at the time? It was like 3-1, right?
It was
So
2-1.
you scored
2-1. That would have been an
2-1, so that's
equalizer.
2-2. That opens things up, yeah, 100%.
But still,
I also
it wouldn't have
feel
made a difference.
that, and okay, I'm gonna look like a brow with a tin hat on now, right? It's probably there's more of a microscope that gets put onto Arsenal and things of that nature. The same way that we get accused for set pieces and all those things when teams do exactly the same thing. The WWE thing that happened in the Everton United game, Arsenal haven't scored a set piece. Now suddenly set pieces aren't a bad thing anymore. Now, so it's.
But that's what I said earlier.
Yeah. Yeah. No. So I'm saying that there's definitely there's a difference in how things are reviewed, and that's probably where all of us are on the same page there. I feel like the scrutiny that Arsenal get is a bit more though, because everything that we do seems like to be a terrorist attack when teams do the same thing.
But that comes with the territory. I think if you number one in the league and you fighting to win the league, then you are going to be under the microscope more than any other team. It's the same with United in the era that
The
our
glory
players
years.
were under the microscope in our glory
And
days.
Fergie was paying the
Our
refs.
players were under the microscope all the time. Fergie was under the microscope all the time. I
Yeah.
think it just comes with the territory.
Okay, fair play. I feel like it's a bit longer than that, but I will concede because AF did ask
Yeah,
me
man.
to have it. Look here, it's easy to laugh, right? And it's easy to say that I'm this crazy person. But if it's your team, then you would be able to spot it, most, isn't it? And that's just
Yeah.
You
yeah,
see, the
that's
difference
just
is
my
that
thing.
our teams have been on top of the league for
Don't include me in this.
long periods of time, so we spot it. Unfortunately, Riaz's team hasn't tasted the
We were
sweetness
at the
Nah,
bottom.
fair
of the
play,
number
fair
one.
play. But okay, let's jump into let's do a quick preview of the Arsenal Chelsea and look, Arsenal obviously get a good 3 points, Mubin, after dropping 4 points in games that they possibly not possibly but should have won, would have made it very comfortable. Going into a Chelsea game where they've sort of had the upper hand over Chelsea in both recent fixtures and also recent years. Do you see this game being open? I know we've had some predictions from SPO talking about the Chelsea 3-1. Just give me some thoughts briefly just on what you feel this game is going to hold and just, yeah, if it is going to be an open game or, yeah, is Chelsea
I
going to
think
turn
it.
up?
I think it. I think it might start off a bit cagey. I think they'll probably want to get the feel of each other. Maybe the first, say, 20, 30 minutes of the game. But I think as the game progresses, particularly in the second half, I think it will open up. Um, because Arsenal, obviously, they can't afford to falter. So, I mean, they're going to need to go and win the game. And Chelsea, the same. I mean, they wouldn't want to falter because that obviously sets them off the pace from fourth and third. But I think Arsenal has more to lose in the situation, so the game will open up. Um,
Yeah.
and I think they will pop Chelsea in the end. If they don't, this comes back to what I said in the beginning: is that it comes down to BMT. This is a game that you want to win and need
Yeah.
to win a title.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, that's my thoughts.
Fair play. If I had a long back and forth with Riaz, I'm going to ask you quickly while he prepares some thoughts for Arsenal Chelsea. Um, Chelsea drew against Burnley. Obviously scored very early, but then conceded very late. Form's been a bit up and down. What do you predict from the Chelsea game, especially the discipline issue has come up a bit. They've, I think, got about 8 red cards for the season. Without Fofana, do you think the defense is the weak link? Do you think maybe a lack of goals is the weak link? What do you see Chelsea showing up with?
Man, I don't know what's happening over at Chelsea. Like the
Mm.
mentality is, it's a weird one. Like so many red cards for a team who should be pushing for like top four, pushing for the title at the starting of the season. They started the season as world champions. There was a lot that people were expecting from them to sort of push on, and they've been subpar for the most part. They look really good in like patches during games. Um, and also, I think that miss from Cole Palmer about 2 weeks ago, when was it, last weekend? That should have won them the game against. I think it was against Leeds,
Yeah,
or it
Leeds.
wasn't against. I can't remember. But that should have won them the game. And this past weekend against Burnley, he just looked a bit devoid of confidence. So I don't know if that miss got into his head a bit, and
Yeah,
that's just something that Arsenal's probably going to now play on. And if he hasn't like straightened up by then,
yeah.
the defense also, there's always a hole somewhere. Trevor
Yeah.
Chalobah has been amazing though. I think he's been their best defender. Um,
Hmm.
Reece James, if he's going to play, sometimes he plays, sometimes he's on the bench. Sometimes he's not even in the squad. So I don't know. It all comes down to match day, who's going to be available for them. But I think the person that you can always count on over there at the moment, or at least in recent weeks, is João Pedro. He's on really hot string of form. I think he will probably continue that. But I can't see Chelsea coming away with a win here. Maybe a draw, maybe a scrappy draw. But yeah, the team doesn't really fill me with a lot of confidence, to be honest.
Fair play. Yeah, it's just a quick one for you. AF talks about João Pedro, obviously Trevor Chalobah being one of the key players there, but João Pedro in the Carabao Cup, I was really impressed with how he was able to navigate between Gabriel, Saliba, kind of hold them up, pin them back, bring Estevao into the game, bring Cole Palmer when he eventually came on. Do you see him as a key player again, just to be an outlet, just to cause that what was seen previously as one of the more reliable defenses with a bit of shakiness now? Do you think he's the key player that Chelsea should kind of base the game plan around?
Yeah, I think Pedro, but also Cole Palmer. I think having Cole Palmer in a vein of form, or starting to get into a vein of form, is super important for the team anyway, because he's that key player. He's that maverick in any game, no matter who you play. Even though some people, not us, would say Ghost Palmer a lot of the time, but I think like having him kind of up for it and in front of that spine of João Pedro, Palmer and Caicedo is super important to the team. But like Abe was saying, Chelsea is such a weird team. Like I can't put my finger on who they are or who they want to be. Like, you know what I mean? Like it's so odd, and changing your back four every game is indicative of that. Never mind through suspensions, but through injuries, through whatever the case may be. I think that's been so difficult for Chelsea to kind of get a hold of, and. He is big enough for that. Austin, and I feel so bad because I really like Austin, and I don't want to crap all over this team. But like, I mean, they're not doing too badly. It's just like the inconsistency is a bit difficult. Finished top four and signs. Yeah, recruitment is a bit of a problem. That is true. I mean, if you think about it, who is it? Hato is still young, but he doesn't play because Gusto starts at left back. Who's the other guy that plays? I mean, Garnacho doesn't play anymore. Neither does the other winger that you bought, Gittins. They all like randomly.
He's injured though. He's injured.
Okay.
Hamstring.
But even when he played, like he hardly played anyway. So it seems so weird. I can't put my finger on what Chelsea are at the moment, but they'll do really. I think it's going to be too easy for Arsenal this weekend, I will say.
Okay. Do you want to start us off? I mean, AF gave a partial prediction. But do you want to start us off with the prediction there?
Yeah, 3-0 Arsenal.
3-0 Arsenal. Whoa, okay.
Yeah.
Mobeen,
you said, are we going to see this thrice?
Yeah. No. Okay. Fair play. Mobeen, give us something there.
2-0 Arsenal.
Arsenal. AF, are you going to stick to potentially Chelsea getting a draw?
I mean, are they even playing for anything right now? They're in the Champions League. They're in a couple of cups.
Yeah.
They are. I don't know if they're trying to push for the top four. Like, I don't know what their mentality is right now. Arsenal want to win the league, so I think it's a 3-1 Arsenal win and I think João Pedro continues his goal scoring.
Yeah, I was actually going to go with that as well. I think there's definitely goals, and the call to Arsenal fans, I think from Arteta, is that we've got more home games in this run-in than we do away games, so the home games become more important. So yeah, I think the crowd's going to be up for it. It starts March for us, which is 7 games in the month. So we play Sunday, Wednesday, Saturday, Tuesday. It's going to be going crazy. So this sort of win kicks off I mean, not win. If it is potentially a win, it will kick us off. So a good positive result in here. And then a quick turnaround time. I think we have Brighton away, so it kind of keeps the momentum going. And then yeah, I'm gonna go 2-0. I think we actually do keep a clean sheet. We'll be up for it, and yeah, that
Is
will
they
be
scoring
it.
again?
Just no, he's not going to play
Um,
again in the next Spurs game. Just quickly for Austin, if you're still
Is
here.
is not gonna play for a few seasons, you know.
Yeah, exactly. Unless we play us in the FA Cup. But
Yeah, underdog
Austin,
story, most.
if you're in chat still, Austin, let me know how you feel about about your manager. How does it like? Because when I listen to him speak, it's so weird when he uses all these random words together, and it just sounds so weird. Anyways, sorry about that. I just wanted to ask a question about that.
No, it's fair. Let's just take the last question here before we go on to PFA Player of the Year early shout. So if you are in the chat still, thank you for staying the course. AF, I'm gonna wrap up now. No, please don't find me.
That's cool. As long as it's before 7 o'clock, then I think we're
Oh no,
good.
perfect, perfect.
Yeah,
Okay,
7:30.
just quickly gonna answer AF's. I mean Austin's comment here. How I'm feeling about the Prem running. Yeah, probably more nervous than anything else. This is longer than Arteta. I think when I was in high school, Arsenal around this time used to fall apart. So I'm kind of like living a Groundhog's Day. So yeah, definitely nervous, but also you have to be confident for at least majority of it. So there's some nerves, but I think there's more confidence in it, in that we've stayed the course. We are competing on multiple fronts. Maybe that proves to be our undoing a bit later, but for the most part, just enjoy the ride. And yeah, we used to be bantered. We somehow are still bantered for competing with City and even Liverpool last season. So I genuinely don't know. Um, but yeah, let's just jump on to quick PFA Player of the Year. We are into the last 11 games. So most teams have played 27. Arsenal, Wolves played 28. So 10 to 11 games left. So I think that's a decent sample size of games that we've seen. So I don't know if there's anybody that has stuck their hand up and said outright that they are going to win it by performances. So yeah, Riaz, give me one or two names if you have, if there are any, just who
It's
you think
honestly,
is in a definite running for PFA.
honestly, there isn't a definite. If I'm being so honest, because like no, if you think about the general teams and performances that the players have been playing, nothing really sticks out like in your brain. Like if you think Haaland he's been scoring goals, but it's not the same. Like and his
Yeah.
performances haven't been the same. If you think the usual suspects, you'll think the only person that's actually still performing at a high level is Declan Rice. So I would throw Declan in there. I would throw both Arsenal centre backs in there as well, and that's about it really. Like the people that stand out. I'll give Moises Caicedo a go because in a team that is obviously not performing to its deserved level, I think he's been excellent this season. I think he mops up everything in that he can in that team. And then just in front of that, I'll go Bruno Fernandes. Also, someone who is somehow still underrated in the team, I guess, because the team don't win anything. It's that like he still seems that people think that he's not good enough, but he's amazing. He's such an amazing player. He's a joy to watch. So yeah, those are just 4 or 5 of my just random players. But nobody sticks out at the moment. I'm hoping that in the next 12 matches we see someone actually take the bull by the horns and finish strong. Could be Gyökeres, never know.
Could be. Mubin, do you have anybody besides Bruno Fernandes from January on?
Yeah, I think I, for once, will tend to agree with Riaz's sentiments.
For once.
No one really stood out. No one has set the league alight this season. There hasn't been any prolific goal scoring, no prolific assists, as I mean,
Yeah.
in previous seasons gone by. And again, I'd probably have to agree. Probably one or two of Arsenal centre backs, given the season that they've had thus far. Other than that, I mean, no one has really done anything wonderful. It's a yeah, like you said. I mean, someone's got to do something this last 11 game weeks to put their hand up and say, listen, I mean, I want to contend for PFA. So yeah,
Fair play. AF, besides Cisco, anybody else?
Have you heard of the player Own Goldinho from Arsenal? What a
You
guy!
don't get me
What a
started.
player, guys!
Don't get
In
me
the
started.
running,
He's
top of
next
the
best friend,
pile for the
Ceticinho, from the
Said
same
yeah.
Flamel.
In
I
all
like that.
seriousness, I like off air. I was telling you that there's there's one that like sticks out for me, and I think it's David Raya. I think he saved you guys
Oh
more
gosh,
often
that's
than
so
not
good.
this season. Throughout the
Yeah,
season, there's been a lot of like, yes, you said like against Wolves, like you made a mistake over there, but like think about the other 26, 20, 25, 26 games. There were so
yeah,
many times he would like be saving you guys, and it could be a completely different story. Thinking back on it now, if those had to go in,
yeah,
some like were extremely like worldly saves, and then for City, people might be saying, okay, Haaland scored 22 goals. He should be the best player of the season. But they're forgetting about a guy that came in January that was really good for Bournemouth before he joined them, and that was Anton
Mm,
Semenyo.
I like
And
that
he's
shot.
like a lot of assists, a lot of goals as well. I think he has
yeah,
about 17 goals this season, which
yeah,
I think like people are he's gone very much under the radar.
True.
Um,
yeah,
and yeah, like you guys said, also Bruno Fernandes, he was playing in front of the centre backs about 2 months ago, and
yeah,
he's still racking up goals and assists now since he's been put in his
yeah.
usual position. So yeah, I think those are my three shouts. And
Nah, fair play.
we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, I think Rice for me obviously stands out because he's now contributed with some key goals and more assists, obviously, from the dead ball, which is always good.
From
Um,
Ceticinho.
Pesinho, aka Declan Rice. Yeah, Haaland really started the season very strongly. Had that
Yeah.
mid-season dip and still kind of finding his way out. He gets the odd assist here and there. Um, I know it's out there, but I do like the look of Igor Thiago. I think he's done exceptionally well for Brentford, especially after they lost
Yeah,
all of their main stars and stuff. He's basically kept them somewhat relevant, him and maybe Kevin Schade, but I mean more Igor Thiago because he's got, I think it's maybe 17 goals. So I think, if I'm not mistaken, he's maybe, yeah, so he's five behind Haaland.
He's so
So
wide, that boy. He's so wide.
yeah, it's like he's everywhere, right? And I mean, there was a fair few that were penalties and things of that nature, but
Yeah.
he's basically leading Brentford on a charge. I think they're seventh, so they could possibly get European football, which is great for somebody like Keith Andrews, firstly, to come in after Thomas Frank sort of set a legacy, but then also for
Who?
Brentford as a team. Sorry, what?
No. Who?
Yeah, I'd go there. I would go those two, but that's it's almost like I think it's going to come down to maybe who wins a few domestics.
Just laughing at me.
So we'll pick somebody who wins domestics, and it'll be somebody from that, I think, because yeah, it's
It's a
not
good
been
shot.
standout. There've been players, yeah, that have been 8 out of 10, but not consistently like a 9 and a 10 out of 10 every game. So that's okay.
Yeah.
But that wraps it up. Let me not open the floor to any more discussion because we will go late and AF will really impose a fine. You can find us at all the regular spots at Sportycast on all of the major platforms. The guy's handles are on screen. Mubin clearly doesn't want to be found, and that's why he hasn't put anything on there. But
Oh,
please
that's a good
continue to
plan. I'm
like,
gonna erase
share.
mine.
Yeah, please continue to like, share, subscribe. We really do appreciate it. We're making some ground. We've now entered the Facebook market, as I mentioned at the start. So please do recommend, say that you've got a listing and it's actually just our channel. Not that we're selling it, but that we want some interaction there. And yeah, for the next few weeks, just a reminder, we'll be doing 6 p.m. shows just to accommodate all of our lovely fans that are partaking in the month of Ramadan, the fast and everything of that nature. So yeah, please, 6 o'clock, yeah, just before you must break fast, you can listen to this and you can make extra du'as when you do go to mosque afterwards. Okay. So yeah, thank you everybody for jumping in, be it in the comments and also my fellow host here. It's been a blast. We'll have a segment talking about the severity of fouls and that will be an hour and a half. But until then, we'll catch you on the flip side. Peace.